Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this video we are going to talk about a very important topic, that is a block level or inline elements in HTML, right? So what happens is whether you are using any of the elements in HTML, it also have some default property that are provided by browser. Suppose there are margins, padding, these all are property of CSS that will be learning further someday, but they have some default property. Suppose consider this particular header, so it will have some spacing by default. So this spacing by default, although you can reset it, but browser profiles provide some default values. Similarly, we have block label and inline label element. So what happens is, there are two kinds of display value, block label and inline label. So block label elements are the elements which take up full width of the page, like divs. Divs will be looking next, like what are divs? Divs are the independent containers, so that takes full of the width. So consider this page, from here to here it can be a div. This can be treated as a div, or this can be treated as a div. So everyone have different notion of creating divs. So you can see that this can be a div. So div can be an independent container which can contain other elements like paragraph, heading, unordered list, ordered list, or a anchor tags like we saw, right? So this is how a div works, right? So coming to block level elements takes the full width. There are lots of elements in HTML, not limited to this, but there are more than this. So you can see table, you can see article, and we looked at UL, LI that we looked at previously. We have div here. We'll be using this so much in our HTML code. When you start, we have headers that we saw, we have paragraph as well, we have ordered list. So some of them we saw and some of them we haven't, right? So this all are block level. So whenever you apply something, whether you write a small content or a full width, it will take the full width of your website. And in inline element there are various tag like links, with anchor, span, subset, superset, text area. So there are various things that will not take full width of the web page or your viewport, that will only take the space that much is required, right? So let's go around and look around the what is different between a inline and a block level element in the code. So let me go around and create a new file. Remember, this file will be available on my GitHub page, so where you can always refer to it, right? So I'll be creating a new file known as folder known as 06 block and inline. Okay, so I'll be saving this, and inside it, let me close this all. And inside this block level and inline, I'll be creating a new file known as index.html. By now you're familiar, I guess, with this all. So I will be listing block and inline. Okay. So inside body, div is independent container, right? So let me list down a div. So we have a div. Div is a division. We let me run it with the live server. So let me add a content. So let me add a paragraph that says tutorial on HTML. Hit it save, and you can see it comes here. So we saw that paragraph is a block level element and this div is also block level element. So it will take the whole width. We can't see it now, but it is taking up the whole width. So if we put up a new element, it will come to the next line, not the self line, right? So let add a background color. So it is a property of CSS. It's not important like as a perspective of HTML, but it's good to understand this, right? So I'll be putting a background color so that we can see that how much this particular element is taking up space. So let me align the red color. Once I hit save, you can see all the content is this much, but this paragraph is taking the full of the width, right? So this div will also contain the same thing, right? So let me give it green, although these are Okay, so you can see that this takes the whole width. Actually, this particular red color is applied on top of green, so you'll be not able to see the green of this. But you can see like having this small element and this small element as well is taking up the whole width. Similarly, we have other block level elements like UL. So once you do UL and LI, so once you do this, see it is taking the whole element. So let me like disable this particular background color and apply it here. Okay, hit save. So you can see that this particular UL and LI element is taking up the whole width, even it is not required, right? So this is the property of block level element. It's take the whole block, it's take the whole width, right? Let's move on to to another tag like anchor tag, which are not block level, which are inline. So suppose I have a Facebook link, save, I have another Facebook link, I have another Facebook link, right? So once I hit save, you can see that it's come line by line. That is known as inline. So it's not taking up whole width of the page, right? So these are inline element, and some of the inline element are we saw like there are various inline element, a tag, span also there is inline element. So span is also can be treated as a independent block, right? Uh, as a div, but span is a as you see, span is the inline element, so it takes up a space that is only required. It is not taking the full space of the width, right? So these are difference between these are difference between block level inline element and block level element. Block level takes the whole width and inline element takes up only that is required. But there is a catch here. You can always change the style display style of it, right, with the CSS. So there is a property known as display. So this is a inline element. I want to change it to block level element. Once I do that, see this particular Facebook takes up the whole width. Let me apply the background color to see that. It's it. Okay, let me bring this here. Okay, let me remove this style. Okay, so now you can see that we have two properties, background green and display block. So display block is taking the whole width and that green is displaying the background. So you can always change the property of display of inline to block or block to inline. So that's it for this video. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I bring latest tech and informational videos in this channel. Thank you so much.